Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to my 3 Takeaways episode from the Thomas Dismukes interview that I just released this past Monday. This one was one of the most entertaining podcast interviews that I've ever done. His amount of energy and the level of ability that he has to be able to tell a great story in a way that can resonate with anybody, because like he talked about, the power of story is so important because everybody can resonate with failures. Some people can resonate with successes, but everybody can resonate with somebody screwing up and learning some sort of lesson from it. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this interview. If you didn't listen to it yet, make sure that you go back and that you listen to it. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave it a rating and review on the Apple Podcast app or on iTunes. Make sure you share it with a friend. That's a great way to help spread this message out there. And before I get into my 3 takeaways, I want to make sure that you're subscribing to my Monday Motivation Trio 111 newsletter. I know Monday mornings can be a super tough time of the week, right? It's really so hard to get motivated to start off the week sometimes, but not if you're a part of this newsletter. You can get one motivational quote, one inspiring video, and one badass workout to kick off your week with a bang. Just go to nickcarrier.com/111-newsletter to subscribe. Again, nickcarrier.com/111-newsletter. With that being said, let's get right into my 3 takeaways. Number 1 is my favorite quote from the entire podcast, which is, the greatest gift a story has to give is a lesson from a life that you don't have to live. He talked about everybody has lived through some experiences that you can learn from. Everybody that you talk to has a golden nugget that you can extract from them. And that kind of also plays off of a quote, which is the reason why I started the podcast. Every man is in some way my superior, and in that I can learn of him. That's a Ralph Waldo Emerson quote, and it's the same message of this first takeaway. That's why I started the podcast, because I realize every single person out there that I talk to, I can extract something from, and I can use it and find a way to apply it in my own life. And I think if we realize that on a more frequent basis, we would be able to avoid mistakes that we make, and we would be able to take more intentional action each and every day. So again, to repeat that awesome quote, the greatest gift a story has to give is a lesson from a life you don't have to live. Takeaway number 2 is your choices matter. Now, that's a pretty obvious takeaway, but I think his SAT story, it was hysterical because of the way that he told the story. Obviously, it was terrible that he ended up shooting his cat. That's super unfortunate, terrible story, but the way that he told it was absolutely hysterical because of kind of the entire day. If you didn't listen to the story, you got to go back and listen to it. But again, your choices matter. He talked about how you have no idea the power of your choices. That one little flip of a sheet of paper, the flip of a sheet of paper changed his life forever. He realized that, oh my gosh, my choices really matter. They can determine my life. That's what he said he teaches his kids every single day. Every day, the choices that you make up your life, and your life is made up of the choices that you make. So make sure that you take responsibility for the choices and be intentional about them. That's the biggest lesson. Be intentional about the choices, because you will decide the outcome of your life. Nothing else will happen. Overall, take responsibility for the results that you get, because the results that you get are ultimately because of the choices that you make. You have the decision on whether or not you're going to get closer to your best you, not anybody else or not anything else. Takeaway number 3 is anything worth doing is worth doing wrong. It's worth doing wrong multiple times, because if it's worth doing, you're going to continue to learn from the mistake, and you're going to do it again, and it'll be a little bit better. And then you'll find another way to tweak it, and it'll get a little bit better. Anything worth doing is worth doing wrong thousands of times until you get it right. Because if it's actually worth doing, you're going to be resilient. You're going to find a way to improve each and every time. He talked about how he hates he feels like society has demonized failure, that if you fail, that you should go do something else. But he talked about how he tried to intentionally place himself in a huge failure. He has this really weird talent of balancing things on his chin. If you didn't listen to the episode, you got to go back and listen to it and learn about how he kind of got into that. He just likes being unique. And so he balances ladders on his chin, and he has a world record with balancing things on his chin. And he was going to go out in a crowd of thousands of people and try to balance a number of things on his chin that he had never done before. And he's like, I just want to fail in front of thousands of people and see what it's like. He ended up actually balancing the number, which was like 30 more. I can't remember if it was glasses or ladders, but he balanced a lot more than he was ever able to do in the past. But the point is that you've got to be willing to go and do something wrong so that you can learn from your mistakes and you can adjust moving forward. So again, guys, my 3 takeaways. Number 1, the greatest gift a story has to give is a lesson from a life you don't have to live. That's why there are books out there. That's why people tell their stories, so that you can hear what they did wrong and you don't have to live that same mistake. You can learn from it and you can ensure that you don't live it, and you can choose a different action. Takeaway number 2 is your choices matter. Your choices matter. You have no idea the impact of the choices that you make on your own life and on the choices that you make for other people's life, the impact that you can make on other people's life, because you probably know about 1,000 people. Those 1,000 people know another 1,000 people. So you're a step away from 1 million and you're 3 steps away from 1 billion. I know that sounds crazy, but don't underestimate the power of your choices. And then takeaway number 3 was anything worth doing is worth doing wrong. Do it wrong first, learn from the mistake, and then upgrade it. And then watch it again and then tweak it a little bit the next time. And you're gonna continue to improve until you actually get closer and closer to perfection. I hope you guys enjoyed these 3 takeaways. That interview with Thomas was one of my most fun and entertaining ones because of his level of energy and his ability to tell some awesome stories. So if you enjoyed it, make sure you leave it a rating and review. If you enjoyed these 3 takeaways, let me know. Send me a message or a DM on Instagram at carrier_bestyou. Make sure you're subscribing to my Monday Motivation Trio 111 newsletter so you can kick off your week with a bang. With that being said, you guys go out and take action so you can get closer and closer to your best you.